You were tuned in to G5 Jeff TV. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the share button as you come on in. I know it's been a while since I've been on here, but life stuff and all that good stuff. Y'all know how I go. But we back at it. Big shout out to the team. VP Shane. He should be popping up in here any minute. The general BoxingFirst Vlog. Big shout out to you, bro. Michael Vasquez, what's going on, bro? What's up with you? L Dub, what's going on, baby? I sent you a link too, man. If you want to jump in, man, you're more than welcome. If you're not working. Big shout out to Michael Vasquez, big shout out to L Dub Boxing. But hey, man, we gotta talk about it, man. We gotta talk about it. Canelo Alvarez, Billy Joe Saunders. This whole ring size issue and thing like that. It's crazy. Michael Vasquez, hold on. Adrian, what's going on, bro? What's up with you? Michael Vasquez, he said, did you hear anything about the ring size on Canelo's fight? So what's going on right now is they're saying that it's supposed to be a 24-foot size ring. Canelo wants an 18-foot size ring. And they said when they got to the venue, when Billy Joe Saunders and his team got to the venue, they found out, I think it was like a 20-foot ring. So it's a bunch of confusion, when it comes down to that. And we definitely going to get into it in a second. L-Dub said he listening from work. I figured you was at work, bro. But yeah, this is a crazy situation because usually when I see stuff like this happen, I'm thinking it's like, it's cap. Like it's this promotion. You know what I'm saying? Like they trying to hype up the fight. It's kind of like Joseph Parker and Derek Chisora. Derek Chisora was like, I'm gonna pull out the fight because I lost the coin toss. Like it was dumb as hell, but people pulled into it. You know what I'm saying? But it was mission accomplished. Like people actually, started paying more attention to the fight because they thought Chisora was going to pull out. So I was thinking the same thing once I heard about the ring size and all of that. But there's a lot of different things going on behind the scenes with this fight. For what I've been hearing, there's been visa issues with a lot of Billy Joe Saunders people, getting them into the States. There's also issues with, the amount of tickets Billy Joe Saunders is getting for his family to attend. They're even saying like in some fights, Canelo don't even allow representatives from the opponent to be in the room when he get his hands wrapped. It's a bunch of stuff going on. You know what I'm saying? There's a whole bunch of stuff coming on with this situation. That's why I think it's serious. And they were supposed to have a face-off, I think, today, and Billy Joe Saunders didn't show up. And Billy Joe Saunders' dad did an interview. He basically said, yo, like, y'all gonna have my son fighting in an 18-foot or a 20-foot ring, like, fight's off. So they're saying the fight is off, and they gonna have to figure some stuff out because I think what's going on, I think Canelo's trying to pull some bully moves, you know what I'm saying, the week of the fight, which is not cool. But I got my bro in here right now. We got the VP in the building. Shane, what's going on, bro?
How long you been live?
A couple minutes, about like 5. About like 5 minutes.
You got a lot of people in the building as well.
Yeah. Let me get to Adrian real quick. He said, do you think this is Saunders' team setting up an excuse for why they lost? No. Let me get into that, Adrian. It seemed like Billy Joe Saunders is having problems with this whole fight, period. You know what I mean? And that's a fact. From the contract being signed and him basically saying he signed a contract for an amount of money that was for no fans, and there was no provisions for him getting a bag if there were fans. So that's one problem. Then the ring size. That's another problem. Then the the agreement as far as the judges are concerned, that's a problem. So Adrian, he's having ongoing problems, but my
And
issue
it's
is
also
this.
promotional as well. It's also
Yes,
promotional
it's
because
promotional problems.
obviously there's a conflict of interest with Eddie
Eddie
Hearn.
Hearn,
Because
yeah,
as a promoter, your aim is to make the most money. And obviously, from a moralistic perspective, it's very difficult to do that when
right.
your cash cow is making demands that, in everybody's eyes, aren't fair. In my opinion, is not fair.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's just Adrian, to further go into your question. I see the comments too. To further get into your question, no, like these are serious issues. The ring size, the money, the like just the little small stuff that's going on, it's a problem. Like it's a problem. And the thing that I don't understand is all of these things are supposed to be addressed pre-fight. Like all of this stuff was supposed to be agreed to pre-fight. Like so, all of this going on, it makes it seem like I don't know if the actual physical contracts were signed.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't know
true.
if the
But
physical contracts were signed. I don't think so. Let me get in these comments real quick. That ring size is BS. Jeffrey DeRuin, big shout out to you, bro. Can you elaborate on that? You said the ring size is BS. Can you elaborate on that? Because I don't want to really jump into that comment until I get a little bit more from you, because I can take that a couple of different ways. We got my best friend in the building, Team and Gabu. Said, yes, my guys. Big shout out to Evis and Gabu. You know, that's
I
family now.
mean, you would know, and Gabi would know because he's obviously trained with Saunders, obviously being part of the same gym and stuff. But in my opinion, I don't know what you were talking about before, but I'll speak about it now. I understand where some people are saying in the fact of being a cash cow, you're gonna ask for certain demand. I get that. I'm not. What I feel like is a bit unfair is when you make demands on the week of a fight. That's what I
Mhm.
think, which is a bit.
That's
It's a
my
bit.
problem. That's
That's
my
a bit
problem. I
unfair.
got a I got a huge problem with that. I got a huge problem with that because it's let me get to this next comment. Adrian, he said, just putting it out there. I think it's just Canelo flexing his A side
No,
muscle.
it's more than that. It's more than that.
And
You know, go on.
Adrian, and the thing is, like, I don't have a problem with an A side person flexing A side muscle. I don't have a problem with that. My problem is when you're doing it the week of the fight and you're doing it with things that are key to the possible result of the fight. Like I don't care what anybody says, ring size is important. Ring
Of
size
course.
is important depending on your style of fighting. It's important. How much money you're making with tickets and without tickets, that's important. Like a fighter needs to be in a good mindset going into a super fight.
But but the reason why I say it's more than just exercising your A side, because Canelo's an A side in every fight. He's an A side in every fight. I mean, it's not like Saunders is asking for ridiculously hard demands. And if he was, those should have been addressed earlier. If you agree to
Yeah,
something, you agree to something. The reason why I say that's a bit different is because he was A side against Yildirim. He was A side against Kovalev. He was A side against all of these fighters. I just feel like what we're seeing right now is a situation where one fighter has tried to be as prepared as possible for a certain situation. And Canelo is now in a situation where he feels like the playing field's too even. That's what I think. I feel like Canelo feels like
yeah.
the playing field's too even.
Let me get in this comment real quick, and then I'm gonna jump into what you just said. Um, Jeffrey said, yeah, if it's an 18-foot or even a 20-foot ring, it's BS. They should fight in a 24-foot ring. Okay, so I see what you're saying. See, this is why I said I didn't want to make a comment off your initial
It's
comment.
still big. It's still
24
big.
foot ring is big. Like that's big. Like I don't agree with a 24-foot ring, and I don't agree with an 18-foot ring. It should be 22 is fine. 20 or 22 is fine. Actually, 18-foot ring is more like amateur, right? That's more of an
Oh,
amateur size ring, right?
or
Yeah,
sparring.
that's probably the size of Coach Padman's ring at the crib. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? Big shout out to Coach Padman McGriff too, man. We gonna get things back going with him, man. That's my guy. But you know, I had to work some things out as far as my end. But big shout out to Padman McGriff. But yeah, Jeffrey, yeah, the 24-foot ring. I need something right in the middle. 20 or 22, I'm cool with it. But I think 24 feet is crazy, and I think 18 feet is crazy. What you
But
think,
to
Shay?
be fair, I don't think 24. I think 24 is big, but I don't think 24 is unfair if you both agree to it before the fight. That's what I don't. And there is a bit of, to me, I believe, and I'm inclined to believe that Saunders did put in a contract that he wants a 24-foot ring. The reason why I'm inclined to believe that is because you don't kick up a storm about something if it wasn't in your contract. Because they could have kicked up a storm about the refereeing or the judge, not the judges, sorry. But he didn't. Whilst
No,
he
he
did
did.
complain,
He
no,
did.
he did. No, he did. But he didn't threaten to leave the fight.
Right,
So in
correct.
my
Right.
opinion, you only leave the fight if you got something in the contract saying X, Y, Z, and you got some legality saying I have good reason to leave. You didn't do that about the judges, which tells me you might have missed that in the contract, but you didn't miss the ring in the contract. That's why you have so much leverage in your argument to say, you know what, bro, I'm walking. And I feel like it's an accumulation of things. The whole thing that Mark Tibbs was saying about guys getting their visa late and you only getting a certain amount of tickets. All of these stuff,
Right.
they all add up. Billy Joe Saunders having to pay for his team's travel and his team's hotels and stuff like that. All of that
Right.
stuff add up. When you're in camp, you want minimal distraction. Minimal distractions. It's all about work. It's not about
Yeah.
all this outside stuff. And to be fair, you ain't heard nothing from Canelo. You're just hearing it
Yeah.
from Saunders.
Yeah. It's a problem. Like it's definitely a problem.
I don't even blame Canelo. I blame Matchroom. Matchroom literally just,
Nah, this is say what you told me earlier, bro.
bro, I'm telling you this. I said this before and I'm saying it again, bro. Matchroom need to start using some Vaseline. They literally need to start using some Vaseline because this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous, bro. They need to start using some Vaseline. Like,
no Vaseline, man.
he got absolutely bent over an F, bro.
Bro,
No Vaseline, bro.
bro, you know the thing that's crazy? Just imagine if this was somebody that wasn't signed to Eddie Hearn. People got to
Exactly.
realize Billy Joe Saunders is signed to Eddie Hearn, and he's getting it raw dog, no Vaseline, like raw
And what
dog.
people also need to understand is when Jeff said this, people probably looked at him like he's crazy. But all of these Canelo fans who give Canelo all of this confidence, you got to understand that you have more confidence in Canelo than Canelo has in himself. And Jeff's been saying that. He's been saying that because if you are so confident, you don't need to put your opponent off. If you're good enough, you beat him in the ring. You don't even care about trying to distract him or get all of these advantages. You beat him in the ring.
I mean, it's just Canelo. Hey, let me get in these comments because the comments is pumping right now. Boxing Learner, big shout out to you, bro. He said I'm still at work. I'll be on in 20 minutes. I got you. Team and Gabu, he said that's very important. And Gabu, let us know if you want to jump on. If you want to jump on, I'll definitely send you a link. We would love to hear from you. These things always happen. Yeah, it's crazy. Pink Furry Goddess. Furry Goddess. What's going on?
You
Definitely subscribe. Definitely subscribe to the channel. You're definitely new. But definitely subscribe to the channel. And if you have a boxing channel as well, I want to know because we can subscribe to you as well.
We want to get some females on.
We want to get females on. So Team Ngabu is just Saunders that is speaking about it. That's true. Matchroom do always everything to protect their fighters. They're not protecting Billy Joe in this situation.
I don't agree with that. They do. Yeah, they normally protect their fighters.
They usually do, but not when it's Canelo involved.
They ain't protecting Saunders against Canelo.
Hold on, let me explain this to Ngabu real quick. And I think people are losing sight of this. this is Canelo signed a 2-fight deal with Eddie Hearn, right? And I can't even say it was a real signing. Basically, Canelo needed a promoter to carry out his next 2 fights that were already scheduled. Eddie Hearn was pinned as that guy. You know
And
what I'm saying?
it made sense because his next 2 fights was fighters
Absolutely.
who were already signed to Eddie Hearn.
Absolutely. So it made sense. So this is, in a sense, Eddie Hearn pushing all his chips to the table. If you into gambling, poker, you push all your chips to the table. You all in. Eddie Hearn's trying to do everything to appease Canelo Alvarez, because if he can convince Canelo Alvarez to re-sign with him, now he can go to the zone and work a whole separate deal just with Canelo, just like he's doing with Anthony Joshua and Dillian White. So,
and the reason why that's so significant is because when you look at the landscape, the next fight is Caleb Plant. Really and truly, Canelo don't need Eddie Hearn for the Caleb Plant fight. Let's keep it real. He doesn't
really
need him for that.
And to be honest with you, he's talking about this unification thing. I don't see him really doing any business with PBC anyway, because it takes away the control. It takes away the control, and it takes away the narrative. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't be surprised if the Caleb Plant fight doesn't happen. You know what I'm saying?
Let's run through these quickly. So
they run through them. Yeah, Jeffrey said 18-foot ring in the pros is a puncher's ring. Absolutely.
Right.
Team and Gabu, is Canelo not co-promoter of the event, so they gonna have a lot to say about everything?
Yeah, 100%. He's co-promoter, but that
he's co-promoter. Yeah,
the reason why that doesn't mean anything is because you might be co-promoter, but Billy Joe Saunders still needs to sign a contract. That's what my point is. Billy Joe Saunders signed a contract on the premise that he is working with Matchroom. It wasn't that he trusted Canelo. Canelo really has nothing to do with it. He works with Matchroom, and if Billy Joe Saunders ain't happy with the contract, he just don't sign the fight, even though it could be making millions of money. I've seen fighters turn down millions of money for certain legality things that they don't like.
Right.
That's boxing. So really and truly, Canelo co-promoting it doesn't have anything to do with why Saunders signed the fight. Saunders signed it on his own strength.
Yeah.
And off the back of his relationship with Eddie.
Right. Yeah, he said Canelo is a co-promoter. Yeah, I mean, it's in Gabu. The thing is like, yes, there are co-promoters, but there's a main promoter in every equation, and Matchroom is the main promoter in this equation. You know, so and then you got the zone involved. So it's just Canelo Promotions is kind of just a name just on the paperwork, to be honest with you. Davidian Simmons, what's going on with you, player? He said, hey, what's good? God bless y'all. Canelo Alvarez, give Billy Joe Saunders a fair shake. Yeah, I just all of these extra stipulations and all that is no need for it. I'm like, if you're the better fighter, you're the cash cow, go in there and go do your thing. Go do your thing. And we're gonna get into that in a minute too. And I know Shane know where I'm going with that. But Pink Furry Goddess, he said, I'm subscribed to your YouTube and Instagram page with the same name. I love boxing. I gotta look you up on Instagram. I will definitely get in contact with you. If you want to jump on the show, definitely let us know. We'll definitely get you on a future show. We definitely got to get females integrated into the channel. Michael Vasquez, he said, you think Saunders will still fight in an 18-foot ring? Hell no.
I don't think so.
I don't think so, bro.
You know why I don't think so also? Because I feel like it's a camp thing. They would have trained.
They'd have trained for that. And this, to be honest with you, and the thing that's crazy to Michael is if he backs out of that fight, you might as well say he's gonna get blackballed. He's gonna get blackballed. Like, he's not gonna get a big fight.
I'll keep it real. If he backs out of that fight, that doesn't look good for Eddie Hearn. So
yeah, it doesn't look good for Eddie Hearn, but he would get blacklisted.
The most likely thing I can see happening is Canelo, being the cash cow he is, says, you know what? We'll give you X amount of millions to fight in a 20-foot ring. That's what I can see happening. Very similar to what we've done with Maidana.
Yeah. Jeffrey said, let's say BJS backs out. Isn't Benavidez the backup? It's the
No,
fight. A lot of people want it right. So this will be interesting. 18-foot ring may
you
not benefit Canelo versus Benavidez.
you
No,
can't
Benavidez is not a
organize a
backup.
fight. You can't organize a fight that big on 5 days' notice. You can't do that. That fight.
Yeah,
Wait,
Benavidez is not anybody's backup. Let's get that out of the way. And Canelo wouldn't be asking for no 18-foot ring if it was Benavidez. I tell you that he'd be the one asking for the 24-foot. I put money on that. Not saying that Canelo can't win the fight. It's just you don't want to be in an 18-foot ring with David Benavidez. Like that just don't make any sense. But that just goes back to what I was saying before about all of these pre-fight provisions. And I don't even get it because I'm like, I honestly don't think that contract was signed. I don't think that contract was signed, like physically signed. I don't think it's been physically signed. And
I
the
mean,
fact that and all this is going on, bro.
do
Let me
you
get this out
think
of the way real quick.
people,
Let me get this out of the way real quick. All of this is going on, and MTK Global is supposed to be the management.
but apparently MTK Global was sorting it. That's what Billy Joe Saunders' dad said. So I'm gonna go
What
by
does dad say? What does dad say?
his dad said that I'm not worried about it because MTK Global are sorting it out. So
You know what? I'm not buying that, yo. I'm gonna tell you why I'm not buying that. Because if they were sorting it out, if they was on top of things, this wouldn't have happened to begin with.
no, but I get some of the stuff they dropped the ball on, especially with the judge. Some of the stuff they dropped the ball on, but with the ring, it seems like it was something that was decided last minute. So I don't think they could have done much at that time.
You know what? This is the thing, bro. This is why I disagree with that. I think the ring size been in place because they have to set that stadium up for a boxing event, and they don't set the stadium up with a couple days left before the fight.
No, definitely, but you can set up a ring and have a ring agreed, but you don't know if that's the size until you go and see it. That's very similar to when Tyson Fury fought Klitschko. They probably had a ring size and all of that set. But when he went there, he said this is like a trampoline. Like he couldn't
Yeah.
box on
And the thing is, that was there was another fight that was on NBC, and it was like an 18-foot ring. It might have been smaller than that.
You
Um,
told me about this fight. You told me about this
yeah,
fight.
it was. I think it was called Ring City, USA. And it was like an 18-foot ring, and it was for a power puncher. It was for a power puncher. I think it was Brandon Adams. Brandon Adams ended up getting the W, getting the upset. But yeah, like the ring thing is crazy, but it's very important. I don't want people to be like it's not important because it is. Pink Furry Goddess, he said, I love what the zone has done for female boxing. Um, I agree with that 100%. The zone is really the only place that's putting on women's boxing. I'm a fan of women's boxing. Let's be clear, like it makes sense for the zone as well because the zone is trying to fill up spots. They're trying to fill up boxing spots on their platform. And what's happening is female boxers don't get paid as much money as male boxers. So they're able to get these females on and they're going to promote the fight. And it's good action. You know what I'm saying? So it fits both ways. The female boxers are getting the opportunity, but at the same time, it's good for the zone from a business end as well. What you think, Shane?
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree.
Adrian said, "Are the rumors that John Ryder is the backup in case BJS backs out true?" That's true. That's true. That's true. He is the backup. I know that for a fact. He's the backup. Jeffrey said, word is Benavidez is the backup to this fight that came out over a month ago. Jeffrey, you a Benavidez fan, man. Nah, but Benavidez is not gonna. I'm gonna tell you why. I don't even think that's possible. Benavidez has problems with weight, so it's almost impossible to have him as a backup because you're basically asking him to basically be on weight for a fight that he may not fight. He misses weight for fights that he's supposed to fight.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So it just
Exactly.
it just doesn't make any logical sense. But I'm glad you're mentioning these things because the one thing we do on this channel is we bring logical thought to
But
things
the
and
defense, no,
Mhm.
nobody, in my opinion, nobody has heard from Canelo's team regarding all of this. So I personally feel like, and when I look at benefits, it doesn't benefit Saunders' team to be all in the media, all like it's a bit of a distraction, in my opinion. And I feel like they've made it so uncomfortable for Saunders' team from the moment they landed that the task of winning is almost impossible now. And mentally, I feel like they're starting to, or they're attempting to enforce some doubt into Saunders' team. But what's annoying for me is I don't know why all of this is necessary. This guy at the Turbiev, he's not a killer like that. Saunders isn't a killer. Like, so I don't know what's the need for all of these provisions. Like, it's not necessary to me.
It's the style. I'm gonna answer that. It's the style. And this is why, we talk off camera all the time about Andre, and we come out and we say all the time, like, Canelo doesn't want any parts of Andre, and he'll say, oh, well, Andre's boring. I'm like, Billy Joe Saunders is more boring than Andre is. And he got a lesser knockout percentage. So I'm like, it's the style that he has the issue with. It's not like you said, Billy Joe Saunders ain't no killer. He ain't gonna be in nobody's horror movie. Like, that's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? So, but if you're the cash cow, if you're quote unquote the number one pound for pound guy, you don't give a damn if it's a 24-foot ring, a 22, a 20, 18. It doesn't matter. If you clearly better than the guy, and this is a unification, it's getting lost in the sauce. This is a unification fight. And the fact that Matchroom and Eddie Hearn doesn't have things under control because there's like you said, there's a conflict of interest. This is the epitome of a conflict of interest. Like, you know what I'm saying? This is a conflict of interest. At the end of the day, like, this is a unification fight, and it needs to be an even playing field just because it's unification, period. You know what I'm saying? And people aren't talking about that. Let me get in these comments though, bro. Jose Corona, big shout out to you. A good fighter will fight in any ring size, no matter the style. You want to jump on that first? Because I'm definitely going to jump on that. You want to jump on that first?
Bro, give me 5 minutes. I'm going to jump on and jump back off.
Okay, no problem. No problem. Go ahead. All right. So, Jose Corona, I'm going to reread your comment. A good fighter will fight in any ring size, no matter the style. Bro, any fighter would fight in any size ring. You know what I'm saying? So in that sense, yes, you're correct. But when you're talking unification, when you're talking the highest of levels, there's some things that are even playing fields and there's some things that are not even playing fields. Canelo wants a smaller ring because he wants to walk Billy Joe Saunders down. He's the more powerful guy. He has the more aggressive style. Billy Joe is an outside fighter, so he needs room to move. So yes, both guys will be willing to fight any side in any size ring, but from a strategy standpoint, it makes more sense for Billy Joe to have a bigger ring. It'll make more sense for Canelo to have a smaller ring. My thing is, with this being a unification fight, this needs to be an even playing field. So they need to meet in the middle, whether it's 20 feet, or 22 feet. They need to meet somewhere in the middle because it has to be an even playing field because it's a unification fight. But I do understand what you're saying. I don't think any fighter is afraid to jump into any ring. You know what I'm saying? Pink Furry Goddess, my friend Olivia Garula is fighting on the Heather Hardy card on May 14th, Friday. That's what's up. Listen, Pink Furry Goddess, get with me on Instagram. I would love to interview her. And if you want to jump on, you could jump on as well. I think that'd be great. Definitely get with me. I'm going to get with you on Instagram in regards to that. Olivia Garula, I got you. Jeffrey said, yeah, he's supposed to be training in case of a Billy Joe Saunders back out. Yeah, John Ryder's supposed to be the backup. Matter of fact, I know he's the backup. And usually DAZN really doesn't have, backup provisions But with this Canelo fight being so big, you know what I'm saying, they sold so many tickets, they had to have a backup. PBC is really good at that. Intangible boxing news. What's going on with you, player? Definitely subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. I'm assuming you have a boxing channel, so I would definitely subscribe to you as well. Get with me on Instagram so we can keep in contact, bro. My bro, Will Stokes. Will Stokes, what's going on, bro? He said, I think I heard Eddie say the backup is John Ryder. Yes, that's correct. John Ryder is the backup for this fight. But this whole issue is just really, it's really crazy to me. You know what I mean? Like it really is, because I think it's legit problems. I think this is legit problems, and I think Canelo is kind of playing that card because he know John Ryder is a backup. He's still gonna have a fight, and all the pressure's on Billy Joe Saunders. You know what I mean? So yeah, he's flexing his, his A status. Davidian Simmons, great point. Billy Joe Saunders has a belt too. This is the only problem I think I have with Canelo Alvarez. Why in all his fights there's stipulations? There's definitely a pattern. Davidian, let me get into that real quick. Now, when he was signed with Golden Boy, right? Now, this is specifically to Davidian Simmons' comment. Let me read that again. That's a great comment. Great point. Billy Joe Saunders has a belt too. This is the only problem I think I have with Canelo Alvarez. Why in all his fights there's stipulations? There's definitely a pattern. So let me get into that. So you take the Kovalev fight. He was just coming off the Anthony Yard fight, and basically the stipulation was either take the fight now or don't get it at all. But not saying that the result was going to be any different, but Sergey Kovalev didn't have a lot of time to actually rest up and prepare and get into that fight. The Danny Jacobs fight, he tried to have a stipulation in terms of the weight. He tried to have a stipulation with that. You take this fight with Billy Joe Saunders, if the rumors are true, he wants a smaller ring. He's trying to flex in terms of that. I also know for a fact that he told James Kirkland before their fight, like, the only way you're going to get the fight is unless Ann Wolfe is not in your corner. Like, and in boxing circles, people know that's a fact. So if you're claiming to be, because you can be the cash cow and not be the number one pound for pound fighter in the world, but if you're claiming to be the number one pound for pound fighter in the world, and you got to have all of these provisions, like even the Triple G fight, like he stacked his hand wraps. He stacked his hand wraps right in front of Abel Sanchez and the commission. And Abel Sanchez said he was going to put in a complaint with the commission. He literally stacked his hands right in front of him. Like he was in the locker room with Canelo Alvarez, and they stacked his wraps right in front of Abel Sanchez, who was Triple G's trainer at the time. So yes, there's a lot of stipulations, there's a lot of provisions, and I know people are going to say, hey, well, Floyd has stipulations or provisions, so why can't Canelo? The difference is with Floyd had all his provisions pre-fight. Like it was just in the contract. Like he had all of his pre-fight. Like when you're trying to make comments, when you're trying to change things the week of the fight, that's out of bounds. That's out of bounds.
That's a fact. And you know what? To back that up as well, not even just that. When you are Floyd, how many of Floyd's fights were the result was in question? Majority of Floyd's fights, Floyd won comfortably. With Canelo, a lot of Canelo's fights, you have to question the judges. You have to question the commission. You have to question you have to question all of these outside influences that might have affected the score. Like crowd and stuff like that. When Floyd fought most of his fighters, most of these guys didn't even want Floyd to win. The people who were paying for the tickets anyway. So that's why I feel like it's different with Canelo, because Canelo's seeking advantages, because I actually feel like these advantages help him to win the fight. Whereas with Floyd, a lot of these advantages, yeah, some of them were probably to make the playing field a bit in his favor, but most of them were financial. Not really, like, he's not really making rules for him to get a physical advantage.
Right, right. Adrian said, "What are your thoughts on
So
the undercard?" Yeah, said, "What are your thoughts on the undercard?" I'm not impressed with the undercard, but Adrian, you got to understand this: when you have a fight of this magnitude, where the bulk of the money has to go to the top two fighters, the main event, then the undercard is going to be shaky.
Julio Cesar Martinez on the undercard. I think he is.
No,
Oh,
he's not. The only people of note that's on the undercard is Frank Sanchez and Keyshawn Davis. Um, Kieran Conway is on the card as well. Elwin Soto was on the card. Hardcore shit. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So, Will Stokes, I love John Ryder. He's my favorite super middleweight, but with all due respect to my man, I really want to see this Saunders fight. Will, we all want to see the Saunders fight because I think all of this madness is strictly Billy Joe Saunders is a threat. His style is a threat. You got to look back at Canelo's career. You can make the argument that he lost to Lara. Lara has a similar style. You make the argument he lost to Trout. Trout has a similar style. He lost to Floyd, clearly. You know what I'm saying? Like, he has problems with guys that are athletic and slick.
And even when you look at it like this, and you want to say, oh, that was before, even when he fought Kovalev, to me, even though Kovalev ain't slick, he ain't fast, he was still running circles around Canelo. Canelo has slow feet, and he's had slow feet, and he's continuously had slow feet. Kovalev won so many rounds of movement and a jab. That's all he done, and he didn't use any great footwork.
Yo, Canelo moved like he got bunions, yo. He moved like he got bunions, man. Like, it's crazy. We got Ryan, the average man span. What's going on, bro? You are definitely new. You look like you a fighter, a boxer, or an MMA guy, one of the two. Give me just a second, Shane. Take over.
Yeah, if you're new, subscribe and all of that. We do like to get fans in on the channel, so definitely. But is this ring size the only problem? No, the ring size isn't the only problem, but I think it's probably the straw that might break the camel's back, in the sense that they had the judges, which was they all agreed on an English judge, and then last minute they changed. And obviously there were situations with the fans and the purse that was supposed to give to Saunders. Then there was a situation with Saunders having to fly in his team a bit late because of visa issues, and then Saunders having to pay for his own fight, his own team, and their own matching didn't pay for none of the expenses and stuff like that. Literally, there's been a laundry list of problems that they've had or claimed to have had, and basically this whole ring size came up last minute, and it's like, you know what, I've had enough kind of thing.
Yeah, 100% facts. Ryan Span, let us know in the comment section if you're a fighter or not, because I'm gonna guess you're a fighter. Adrian, what are your thoughts on the undercard? We just talked about that. It's a hardcore undercard, just, you know. Jeffrey says, okay, that makes sense. Bleed out Billy Joe Saunders, bring in the lesser threat for the bag. You know what? Let me address that real quick. This is all about leverage. Like, A-side guys are flexing leverage. Where Canelo is crossing the line is he's trying to flex leverage the week of the fight. If this was a situation where I would have had Jeffrey, I'd have had more respect for the situation if he'd have been like, if he knew, let's just say he knew he wasn't going to make weight. And he says, all right, let's make it 169.5 except for 168. Then at least we all know what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, we all know what it is. And that's happened before.
It doesn't affect Billy Joe Saunders' camp. He would have had a whole entire camp fighting in a certain size ring with certain expectations and a certain game plan. Right. In the 18 ring, you can't deploy that game plan. I don't care. you could be both, bro. You can't deploy that game plan.
And people and that's 100% facts. And the thing is, people like, oh well, Billy Joe Saunders going to turn down this major payday, this, that, and the third. And I'm like, yo, all money ain't good money, yo. All money not good money. Like all money ain't good money. And it's like you put Billy Joe Saunders in an 18-foot ring with Canelo Alvarez, it's not going to end well. It's not going to end well because he's not going to be able to employ his strategy and his actual advantages in an 18-foot ring.
Exactly. And that's why I'm annoyed, because you're not fighting a guy at his best. You're fighting him with a
you're trying to lessen him.
Achilles heel.
Yeah, and it's like I said, they're trying to take the Floyd blueprint and they're really taking it overboard. I can't even say Floyd has done anything like this. Like, he just controls the money and the fact that in Vegas, he's able to get the stuff for his hands and stuff like that, little small stuff like that. But Floyd knew at the end of the day, like, you was gonna get your ass whipped. You was gonna get your ass whipped. That's just what it was. Will Stokes Conway versus Sissoko is a great fight on the undercard. No, that's a solid fight. But it's a hardcore solid fight. That's a conversation for our Instagram our Instagram group that we got going on. But no, that's a solid fight. Definitely. Yo, Richard Alicia is in the building. Richard, what's up with you? Yeah, I'm running through them real quick. LOL, he said the other Jeff. Hey man, you can't acknowledge another Jeff and don't acknowledge the host. Like, what's going on here, brother?
He's talking about you, and he's saying to Jeffrey.
Oh, okay. I got you. Jeffrey said thanks a lot. Brendan Jackson, he's new. Yeah, Brendan Jackson, subscribe to the channel. I see the headgear, so I know you're definitely a fighter. So definitely subscribe to the channel. Get with us on Instagram, G5JeffTV, I_am Shane, #1. So we can keep up. Swaro is in the building. Swaro, what's going on? Will Stokes. So I'm trying to figure out what the most fair thing is here. Would it be 20 or 22? I understand 24 and 18 is a bit unfair. Either way, either one.
Personally, I would say 22. The reason why I say 22 only for one simple reason is because, and you can't change the ring size at this point. Like they ain't gonna break the ring. I think the ring's already been made. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's already up.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I think that was previously agreed on. That's why I was just like, you can't, like, it was previously agreed on the size of the ring. And the reason I would say 22 is because you have to be mindful. I'm like, there are other people fighting like on the card. Yeah. Like, so you can't put everybody at a disadvantage.
There's a heavyweight fight in that.
Yeah, like you gonna get somebody killed out there in Texas. You know what I'm saying? You will get somebody killed out there. But yo, we got so many new people in here. Trey Malik, what's going on with you, Trey? Definitely subscribe to the channel. Salute to you. Difference with this fight is Billy Joe has fought in 20-foot rings before. Trey, that's a fact. But here's the thing, though.
That's actually a good point as well.
Trey, that's a good point. But the thing is, it's still about what was agreed upon. What was agreed upon. Like, if a 24 or 22 was agreed upon, it doesn't matter that he's fought in 20-foot rings before. Like, if they agree to 22, then it should be a 22. If they agree to a 24, it should be a 24. Like, he shouldn't have to fight great point, but he shouldn't have to fight in a 20 if a 24 was agreed on. You see what I'm saying? So it's kind of like principle, but at the same time, but Trey, that's a great point, though. That's a great point. I think he would be fine in a 20-foot ring. It's just he would be better off in a 22-foot ring. You know what I'm saying? But Canelo knows that too, though. You know what I'm saying? Jeffrey said if it's Canelo versus Ryder, man, laughing my ass off. Yeah, 70,000 fans for John Ryder, man. I don't know. I bet you he won't say nothing about no ring size of John Ryder fighting. I'll tell you that much.
Of course.
Yeah. Adrian, it's always a stipulation or a shady scorecard in Canelo's fights. That's why
Exactly.
I don't have him pound for pound #1 on my list. That's the very reason. And people criticize me. They criticize Shane for saying, "Hey, Terrence Crawford is the #1 pound for pound fighter in the world." I'm like, Terrence Crawford ain't got one debatable in his career,
No
inside the ring
asterisk.
or
No
outside.
asterisk.
No, no asterisks, no nothing. And I'm like, there's not one person in welterweight that beats Terrence Crawford, in my opinion. I'm like, Spence doesn't beat him, Boots doesn't beat him, Danny doesn't beat him, Sean doesn't beat him, Porter, like Keith Thurman doesn't beat him, Pacquiao doesn't beat him. I can't say the same thing about Canelo. I can't say the same thing, and that's another debate for another day. I don't want to turn this into a who's pound for pound #1 because that could get crazy. Brendan Jackson, I hope it happens Saturday so Canelo can start Saunders. And he
Nah, bro,
may.
I'm
And the
not
thing
even gonna
is,
lie. After all of this, I want Saunders to win. And if you know me, and I know Will's probably laughing right now because Will knows I don't really back. It's not that I don't back British fighters, but I'm very skeptical on them. But I want Billy Joe Saunders to absolutely school Canelo. I want him to win every single round because after I see what he's doing, bro, it's not even that I dislike Canelo. I hate Canelo fans because the narrative after this fight is going to be like, oh, Canelo's this greatest fighter since Marvin Hagler or whatever they will say. And I'm like, bro, this guy's always trying to seek some unfair advantage. Like this guy's a fraud. He's a fraud.
yeah,
He is a
bro.
fraud.
And the thing is, and I'm like, Canelo's talented. Like, let's not get it twisted. He's talented, but I'm like, I personally thought he's lost 5 fights in his career.
You did
5.
say that to me.
Yeah, I think he's lost 5 fights. I thought he lost to Triple G twice. I think he definitely lost to Floyd. I think he lost to Lara, and I think he lost to Trump. Like, I'm not the only one to think that though. But I like Canelo.
I thought he won the second Golovkin fight, but I thought he lost every other fight that you said.
Yeah, I like Canelo. I like Canelo, but I see why he's asking for all of these provisions. Tony's Reviews, what's going on, good brother? Big shout out to Tony's Reviews. Tony's Reviews is actually on the show. That had been like over a month ago. But big shout out to you. Pink Furry Goddess. I have a strange feeling that this fight isn't going to happen. I'll believe it when I see them both in the ring. It seems too good to be true to me anyway.
Honestly, to me, I just feel like Eddie Hearn has too much money to lose. So if Eddie Hearn has to run up to Billy Joe Saunders and give him a mystery bag of money, that will happen. Trust me.
Yeah, the fight, the Pink Furry Goddess, the fight's gonna happen. The fight's gonna happen. It's just what kind of duffel bag is Billy Joe Saunders gonna get? Is it gonna be Nike, Adidas, Everlast, whatever? But that fight's gonna happen. It's just too much going on. You know what I mean? Trey, Floyd control glove type and style of ring for Maidana. Trey, let me get into that real quick. Did you see the comment, Shane?
Yeah.
Yeah, let me get into that real quick. The reason why the glove thing was controlled by Floyd is because Maidana's gloves ain't had no padding in them. They ain't had no padding in them, and there's literally video of that on YouTube. Like his gloves had no padding, but the thing was,
Can I adjust that? Bro, when it comes to gloves, bro, I've seen this happen before. And it happened with Canelo and with Klitschko and Pulev. When Klitschko fought Pulev had to wear the same gloves Klitschko was wearing. And when you got situations like that where you have a fighter who's the ace, they will ask for gloves. But the difference with this is it's an even field. The playing field is even. So if a guy says, you know what, you wear these gloves, I wear these gloves. Okay, I understand it might be an inconvenience, but it's an even field. Plus, you don't have gloves in a contract. You don't think I'm going to be wearing this glove in a contract. So I understand that. If you say you have this size ring in a contract, bro, you have to abide by that. Now I don't know if it was in the contract, but I'm inclined to believe that for many reasons.
I think so. Yeah, for a stadium that big, you have to customize the ring, and that stadium is not. They have boxing events there, but they have football there, so you have to customize it. So I'm in full agreement that I think that ring size was agreed upon previously. And Trey, let me add one more thing. Um, Actually controlling the glove type, I don't really have a problem with that from the A side perspective. I really don't have a problem with that. The thing is with Floyd had to pay 1.8 million for Maidana not to wear those gloves because even though they didn't have no padding around the knuckles, they were still 8 ounces. You know what I'm saying? So that's just a little game, just in case you didn't know that. Brendan Jackson, John Ryder arguably beat Callum Smith and could be stylistically a good fight versus Canelo. Just the fact that it's replacing a better fight makes it disappointing. Let me jump on that. Yeah, let me jump on that. It'd be a more entertaining fight because Ryder's not hard to find. Canelo will be able to get his shots off without having to look for Ryder. But the quality of fight wouldn't be the same for the casual fan. They probably would want to see Ryder if they're just looking for action. But in terms of being a boxing purist, a real boxing fan, you would want to see Billy Joe Saunders because you want to see Canelo figure the puzzle out. Go ahead, Shane.
No, I was gonna say run through because you said the same thing.
Run through it. Okay, I got you. Brendan Jackson, shit popping today. Brendan Jackson, Canelo had Laura's mind right after the first few body shots in round 4, and it was all she wrote from that point forward. Brendan, I couldn't disagree with you more, bro. I thought Laura won that fight.
Personally, I didn't even feel like. Now I know Laura done a lot of movement, but
he did a lot of moving.
To me, you can score rounds on who's controlling and dictating the fight. And as much as Canelo was on the front foot, he looked like an amateur at times in that fight. I won't even lie. He was taking oxygen a lot of the time.
Yeah, he was. Now I'm not gonna lie. It was at points in the fight I felt like Laura was borderline running, like he was pissing me off. He was moving too much. He was pissing me off. So I can't even knock you saying that, Brendan. To be honest with you, because if you hate a fighter that move too much like I do, I can see you making a comment like that. Will Stokes, this further makes me believe Billy Joe Saunders not gonna lie. Man's willing to walk away from life-changing money in order to get a fair playing field. It's so reminiscent of Team Fury's dispute over the canvas. You want to address that, Shane?
It's different with Team Fury and the canvas. You know why I say it's different with that? It's because, again, canvas isn't in the contract. What type of canvas on the ring isn't in the contract? This is, I believe, was in the contract. I have to believe that. So, in my personal opinion, it's so different because, again, I just feel like Canelo, I don't even think Canelo's probably seen what's in Billy Joe Saunders' contract. He's probably had his management team go there. They've signed their deal. Yeah, that's fine. Canelo's probably gone to the room and gone, oh, this room's too small. This room's too big. Make that room bigger. And that's what's happened. I feel like it was there. I don't even think Canelo was there when Billy Joe Saunders was asking for a demand.
I can believe that because a lot of stuff that was going on with Oscar De La Hoya when he was signed with Golden Boy, he was unaware. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't know what the hell was going on with the contract, but he should have learned his lesson from Oscar.
He probably just pulled up and said, no, this ring's too big. Make that ring smaller. That's probably what he's done.
Yeah, Canelo looks like the guy that don't read the fine print or the big print in the contract. You know what I'm saying?
When you call the shots like Canelo, you don't need to because you know you can pay somebody off and stuff.
Absolutely. Will Stokes said these guys are built different. Billy Joe Saunders literally said if he could be promised the win, he would just want 30 minutes to say goodbye to his kids and then he'd leave the earth. Will, you was stupid. He was stupid. And knowing Billy Joe Saunders, I don't get the impression that he's joking. I don't know what Billy Joe, man. Billy Joe, I don't know.
Sometimes I think this guy's on drugs.
Yeah, Billy Joe be on them. He be on them fine as life juices. Jeffrey said, I get it, but an 18-foot ring doesn't give Billy Joe Saunders a good chance to work. Yeah, like any boxer doesn't want to be in an 18-foot ring. Like I said, that's just what it is. Will Stokes, I actually think Billy Joe Saunders could do this.
I hope so. I hope so.
I hope so, but I don't think I don't think the judges. Like I said, he's down 3 rounds and nothing already, and the weigh-ins ain't happened yet. My bro, Cruz the Hitman Stewart is in the building. Future middleweight champion of the world, Cruz Hitman Stewart. Big shout out to my bro. He said if they real fighters, man, they should not care about ring size at all. Yeah, that's a Cruz. Of course you would say that, man, because you cracking like a heavyweight. You know, Billy Joe Saunders ain't, he got them pillow hands. So that's not a good situation for Billy Joe. You know what I'm saying? That's not, but for you, I know I could put you in a phone booth. You know what I'm saying? I know I could put you in a phone booth, Cruz. Will's laughing.
He's laughing because I think that I want Billy Joe Saunders to win. That's why he's probably laughing.
Yeah. Brendan Jackson, LOL. Do you really think Billy Joe Saunders has the chin to hang? Absolutely.
I don't even think
Billy Joe got a chin. Billy Joe got a chin.
I think it's the stamina. I don't even think it's the
stamina is his issue. Yeah, stamina is his issue. How many times you seen Billy Joe actually hurt in a fight?
Sheffield Asufi, that's the only fight.
That's the only fight. Yeah, that's the only fight. He said 5 fights. He said you can't make a solid argument for Laurel or Trout. Bro, you are bugging. You are bugging. And you know what, bro? I would have to ask you, like, what was your scorecard for another fight to see how you actually score fights? Because I don't know if it's just how you score fights.
He might just
he might be a guy that just likes pressure, which is okay. Which is okay. We're not knocking it. I just score fights different. The Joker is in the building. You seen the Joker before?
No.
Definitely subscribe to the channel, The Joker. So many new people. This is typical Billy. He's just trying to irritate and wind up Canelo.
I don't think so,
bro. It's too much.
It's like a heart attack, bro.
Bro, I think Joker. Let me explain this real quick. Under normal circumstances, I would agree with you, but there's other people saying the same thing as well that's not in his camp. That's why I think it's serious. That's why I think it's really serious. Like, I don't think he's capping.
The reason why I'm so more convinced is when you know Mark Tibbs, but for those who don't know Mark Tibbs is a pretty straightforward character. He rarely complains about anything. Like when he was Dylan White's trainer for how many years he was Dylan White's trainer, he was the cool one in that camp because Dylan White, if you know, he's a hothead, but Mark Tibbs was the cool-headed one. When he's getting angry about certain stuff, you kind of know that things have been a bit shady. And some stuff you can't argue with, like 70,000 fans. There will be 70,000 fans in that stadium that even if Canelo throws a punch and it lands on the ropes, they're going to scream for it. They're going to scream for every single punch. So he's already down. Yeah,
that's 100% facts, bro. 100% facts.
12-0 to get a draw.
He's going to have to win 12-0 to get a draw. And he's going to have to get a knockdown to get a win. Tony's reviews. Trout beat Canelo. He outlanded him 8 out of the 12 rounds. And the argument for Canelo winning has always been he landed more power punches. However, Trout landed more power shots. LOL.
I thought the Trout fight wasn't even a hard fight to score.
I don't think so either.
I watched that recently and I was thinking, like, Canelo didn't even feel like he won the fight after the fight.
Trout did a lot of clean ass work in that fight. He did a lot of clean ass work in that fight. And it wasn't nothing major, but it was just effective. It was consistent all the way through. You know what I mean? Conrad Boxing, what's going on, Conrad? He said, I think so too, the Joker, all mind games. Yeah, I'm not buying it, bro.
Lowdown's channel.
He's from Lowdown's channel. Yeah, Conrad from Lowdown's channel. Big shout out to you, Conrad Boxing. Bro, I'm going to say this. Is there a certain level of mind games along with it? Possibly. But I think the issue's serious, though. I think the issue is very serious.
I think the mind games are minimal. I'll keep it real. I think the mind games are minimal. The reason why I say that is because Canelo's teammate biting is
And they're
Saunders
not
feeling
talking.
fighting.
They're not
It's,
talking. Yeah, they're not
I
talking.
don't see how this doesn't benefit Canelo being in the and Billy Joe Saunders being in the public eye so much. This doesn't benefit him. This is a
Right.
distraction.
Yeah. I don't think I could see if Canelo team was talking, then I could say, yeah, it's a distraction. But his Canelo's team has been pretty quiet. So it's like, why play mind games with somebody that's quiet? You know what I mean? So that's why I'm not buying it. Brendan Jackson, the same Trout who had Canelo looking like he was out of the matrix and was even made to do the chicken dance, somehow outlanded and won 8 of 12 rounds. They're trying to say 8 of 12 rounds. LOL. I think Brendan just judged fights different. I think he judged whoever's the aggressive guy, he's probably giving them the round. But which is cool. Which is cool. Just off of that comment alone, that's what I get from that. Tony's reviews, you do realize that Trout outlanded Canelo by like 30 punches. Let me break that down real quick. Punch stats are very subjective. A person can outland somebody by 30 punches throughout the fight, but it could be a situation where they landed all those punches in the first half of the fight. You know what I'm saying? And they might have faded, or they didn't do nothing in the first half of the fight, and they might have turned up in the second half. So that doesn't necessarily tell the whole story. That doesn't tell the whole story. I just watching the fight, I just thought that he was doing cleaner work. I thought Trout was doing cleaner work. Brendan Jackson, I literally watched the Laura fight this morning for the 10th time. Laura did not do nearly enough to convincingly win, just survive. Brendan, let me ask you a question about that. When you break it down round by round, who was landing the better shots? Because if you think about it, Brendan, and this is just to give you insight on how Shane and I judge fights, because usually Shane and I are pretty similar when it comes down to judging fights. When it comes down to it, can you make a highlight reel of landed headshots from Canelo in that fight against Laura?
I got another one. Let me ask you a question. Knowing Canelo and knowing how Canelo normally reacts to a fight when he wins, do you think Canelo won that fight? I don't even think Canelo thought he won that fight, bro. I've seen Canelo, when Canelo beat Golovkin that second time, he felt like a guy who won that fight. When he beat Kovalev, when he beat Jacobs, when he beat Callum Smith, that's a guy who won a fight. When he fought Trout, he didn't think that he won that fight. I'm telling you, he didn't think that.
Brendan, the same look he had in the Trout fight after the Trout fight is the same look he had after the Laura fight. Same exact look. Sewell, what's going on with you? He another boxing lowdown guy. Anthony Joshua and Vladimir Klitschko fought in a 20-foot ring, but BJS team is saying that's not acceptable.
The difference with that is, I'll tell you the difference with that. And let me tell you the biggest difference with that is, whilst they both heavyweights, they both, well, especially AJ weren't trying to win that fight using me. AJ weren't trying to win that fight using me.
And Sewell A, let me add this. The bottom line is that was the ring that was agreed upon. Nobody tried to switch it the week of the fight. That's what was agreed upon between two fighters in two camps. They agreed to a 20-foot ring. And that's the point of it. They agreed to a certain size ring and they stuck to it. The problem with what's going on with Canelo is he has to change. He's trying to change it the week of the fight. That's huge.
Imagine if Bivol fought Beterbiev and they both sign up and say, you know what, we're gonna fight in a 10-foot ring. Whose fault is that? That's Bivol's fault for signing up to fighting in a 10-foot ring.
Absolutely.
If Canelo sent, and I swear to God, I feel like Canelo would have sent a representative to represent him in a meeting and said, yep, we'll agree to a 22-foot ring, 22-foot size ring. And Canelo wouldn't have been there. He wouldn't have known. And he would have turned up this week and said, nope, this ring's too big and they have to change it. I guarantee you that's what's happened. I guarantee you that's exactly what's happened.
Yeah, that's a fact. Before I get to the next comment, let me say this real quick. We haven't been on live in over a month, man. And when I say that I'm feeling the love in this live, bro, when I say I'm feeling the love, and it's probably because it's Canelo, but I don't give a damn. I'm feeling the love in this live, man. I appreciate each and every person up in here, man. It's good to see a bunch of people talking about the sport. Conrad said, "You think Canelo was asking for 18-foot to make 20-foot look like a fair compromise to the general public?" To be honest with you, I don't think Canelo asked for a certain size. I just think he got to the arena and was like, "It's too big." He was like, "The ring too big. Make it smaller." I think that's literally what happened. I don't think he pays attention to those type of finer details.
You don't
I just
need
don't
to.
think
He
he don't need to.
he's so much of an A side. Like I don't think these guys might be not aware to what A side means. I was around during the Klitschko era, and a lot of people weren't around during that time because boxing was so boring. They didn't. Klitschko used to do this all the time. He used to do some like he'll come to a fight and be like, "I don't like this," change the whole thing, and the time of the fight would have to change. Time of the fight would have to change, bro. I've seen Klitschko fly to somebody else's country and still have the judges in his pocket, still have the referee in his pocket. Bro, this is why when you're the A side and people always fighting about A side, B side, the levels and the amount you can push that boundary is ridiculous. And that's what Canelo can do. He's the definition of an A side, bro. And Billy Joe Saunders is refusing to play the position of a B side. He's refusing to play that position.
And I think I think Canelo's team is really just, they're going overboard. They're going overboard with it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're really going overboard with it. King, what's going on, bro? King, I think King knew. Subscribe to the channel. Yeah, subscribe to the channel. Follow us on Instagram. Said Bivol for a replacement. Nah, Bivol just fought. Fernando Rodriguez, big shout out to you. Fernando, you knew as well. Go subscribe to the channel, follow us on Instagram. Is the fight really off?
According to Billy Joe Saunders.
According to Billy Joe Saunders, yes, it's off. But we'll see how it plays out within the next day or so. I still think the fight gonna happen, but as of right now, no, they saying that it's off.
Billy Joe Saunders is saying that he ain't going in the ring.
He ain't going. And the thing is, he didn't show up to the face off. That's not nothing to sneeze at. That's not nothing to sneeze at. That's important. Will
he ain't done no media. He hasn't done.
He's done no media. The only media he did was the video he did with Tyson Fury calling out Eddie Hearn. That's the only media he's done. Will Stokes Saunders also got buzzed by Eubank in the 12th, but other than that, Saunders looked fine. I've seen him maybe hurt maybe twice or three times.
No, but even in the Eubank fight, would you not say that's more fatigue? I thought he was more tired than actually hurt. But I know why you're saying that. He looked more tired.
Yeah. Soul A, the British public supporting this nonsense from Billy Joe Saunders made me lose complete respect for them. 20-foot rings are common, and Canelo is the A side while Billy is the C side. You wanna jump on that, Shane? Because I'm definitely going to.
I'm normally in agreement with people saying stuff like that, but where I draw the line is when you change the decision last minute. That's why I don't agree with. If the fight was originally 20 foot, that's fair. But if you're agreeing to something, and to me, as I said, this is just the straw that broke the camel's back. There were so many other things that Canelo had to have. Now, I agree, if you're the A side, you're the A side. But to me, I don't really care about Saunders, to be honest. I don't care about Saunders. I don't care about Canelo. I care about Canelo's fans. Because Canelo's fans love running with this narrative that this guy's the best fighter in the sport. To me, I've never heard Terence Crawford ever ask for a ring size before. I don't know about you. I've never heard Terence Crawford ever ask for a specific judge before. I've never heard that before. I've never heard Billy Joe Canelo make sure another fighter has a rehydration. I've never seen that before. Even when he moved up weight, he's never done it. So if you're comparing him as pound for pound number one, compare him to Crawford, and he ain't doing what Crawford's doing. He ain't doing that. He has to have advantages. So that's why I'm annoyed. I'm annoyed because the fans of Canelo, that's my biggest grievance is with Canelo fans.
So just as far as your comment is concerned, I would usually fall in line with a comment like that. I'm gonna tell you where my problem is. The problem I have with your comment is Billy Joe Saunders is basically saying that there was an agreement to a certain ring size, and they're trying to change the ring size. So it don't matter if they agreed to a 24-foot ring and they're trying to change it to 20. It don't matter if they agreed to a 22 and they're trying to change it to 20, or if they agreed to a 20 and they're trying to change it to an 18. The bottom line is they are trying to change something that is significant the week of the fight. You can't lose respect for somebody that's trying to keep trying to keep it as competitively even as possible. So, you have to remember this is still a unification fight. This is still a unification fight. I understand Canelo's A side, and like you said, Billy Joe Saunders is C side, but this is still a unification. Billy Joe Saunders is still a champion. So if they agreed on a 22-foot ring or a 24-foot ring, you got to stand on that. You got to stand on that. And it's just you don't make the changes the week of the fight. Like that's just I can't. Like, because if you allow Sue, think about it this way: if you allow this to happen, then you're opening up Pandora's box. Like people are just going to start doing crazy stuff. You know what I'm saying? So just think about that. Will
Exactly.
Stokes, yeah, Will Stokes said Conrad. I think that's probably exactly right. What did Conrad say?
I don't
Probably
even
was an
know.
earlier comment.
Let me get some
He
comments.
said, I'm not British, but can't deny that BJS got a belt and Canelo wants that belt. Yeah, it's a unification. I can see if he was just a contender, then I may not be as hard on this, but this is a unification fight, man. Like it's just like we can't allow that in a unification fight. Like that's just it's setting a bad precedent. Like it really is. The Joker. So do you believe the fight is off? As Billy's dad has said, they're on the plane home tonight. I don't buy that. I
I
don't
don't
think
buy
they on
that
the
at all.
plane.
I don't
I
buy
don't
that at all.
I don't buy that.
What I do believe, what I do believe is whatever decision that I believe for a fact that under these circumstances, the fight ain't happening. So unless they're gonna go up to Billy Joe Saunders and give him a bag of money, which I can see happening, I don't see that. I see something happening. Something will happen between now and Saturday. Something will change. Either the ringside will change or they're gonna get some money. Something. The fight it ain't staying like this. Trust me. I know that for a fact.
Hold on. Hold on. Brendan Jackson, y'all need to just put me on the live. LOL. I do value pressure, but I'm looking at who is landing the more frequent and cleaner shots, and I do not ignore body work. Brendan Jackson, you said that to the right person. There is plenty of people in this comment section that has been on the show by making a comment just like that. Follow us on Instagram, or matter of fact, you know what, bro? I'm gonna make your day today. Hold on. I'm not gonna do it yet. I want to get through the rest of these comments, but I got something for you. Soul A, could you imagine if Billy Joe was Maidana for a second? He would have walked away from the Mayweather fight over the glove issue. Billy Joe Saunders is a chump, and A side privilege is nothing new. Again, Soul A, I hear what you're saying, bro. It's the fact that he's doing it the week of the fight. We don't have a problem with A side, pushing stuff around. We don't have a problem with that. The fact that you're doing all of these things the week of the fight, like you already got every other advantage. You got every other advantage. And to your example, Maidana wasn't a champion. Maidana wasn't a champion at the time that he fought Floyd. Like that wasn't a unification fight. This is a unification fight. Unification fight with 70,000 fans. Like you can't say that Billy Joe is a chump. That's like saying like Soy, that's like saying somebody trying to bully you at your job. You're not gonna allow that to happen. Like it don't matter if they paying you good money. Like you're not gonna let nobody bully you at your job. This is essentially what this is.
You ain't gonna get through these comments, trust me.
No, I'm about to run through them. Beams 2K, what's going on? He said, "Yo, what's up? G Fizzle, is it true Canelo versus Saunders fight is off? Saunders and them is out. They're out. So we gotta keep everything locked in. Brendan Jackson, from rounds 4 through 12, there were massive portions of times where Lara seemingly refused to throw anything. You can't count a plethora of headshots from Canelo, but his body work was consistent. I'll get to that in a second. I'm gonna get to that in a second. Had Lara backpedaled the entire second half until the bell, I'm gonna get into that as well. Cruz said, bro, Canelo actually have like 5 losses, to be honest. Triple G, Lara, Trout, Mayweather. If Sergey Kovalev fought, he would have lost to him too. Bro, I said the same thing. I said he literally got 5 losses. I literally said that in here. Brendan Jackson, unlike Lara, Triple G in the first fight actually put pressure on Canelo, and his activity definitely carried him to deserve a win.
Pressure don't mean you win. So
how did you score bro? How did you score Canelo Triple G 1 and 2, Brendan? Sul A, from what I've read, Team Canelo hasn't tried to change anything. It's up to the Texas State Athletic Commission to pick ring size, and 20 foot is common. It's Billy that wants to handpick ring size.
I don't believe that. The reason why I don't believe that, because for one, the reason why they can't, the commission just, I understand what you're saying, but the reason why the commission can't just do that, and yes, 20 foot is common, but the reason why they can't just do that is because in this circumstance, as you said over and over and over again, Canelo is the A side.
He controls everything.
And the reason why that's so important is because Texas probably, when they were going through negotiations, they were probably negotiating certain stuff before they even decided Texas was the venue. You see my point? They could have been discussing ring sizes before Texas even became the venue. Because Texas only became the venue when they realized they can have fans.
That's why I don't agree with that statement, because Texas was not the clear-cut favorite to get the fight when they were negotiating. And then even if that was the case, Canelo's word beats the commission anyway. Like, if Sul A, your comment would be correct if it was a normal fight that didn't have Canelo involved, then you would probably be correct. English guy, that's my bro right there. English guy, what's going on? Rumor is John Ryder been flown in, possible replacement. John Ryder, he's been there. Sul A, Boo Boo Andre can make 168 on a week's notice. I wish they would do it, bro. I wish they would do it, but they ain't stupid. They not stupid. Brendan Jackson, Saunders has been briefly stunned, not just tired, LOL, in like 3-4 fights. Canelo is going to KO Billy while Saunders is in the middle of throwing a punch or punches. Cannot lack those fundamentals. Brendan,
I don't know what fights you watched where you seen him 3-4 fights. I don't know what fight that is. I've seen him stand in the flip-up fight and maybe the Eubank fight, but not much.
Brendan, I will put money on it. Billy Joe doesn't get knocked out in this fight. I'll put bread on that. Only way he would get knocked out is unless he's dead tired. Like, if he's dead tired, I can see it happening. He said versus Canelo at this point. Bruce Goes, what's going on? He said salute Jane and Jeff. Bruce Goes, that's my bro right there. Conrad Boxing, at least we won't have to watch them eat cheeseburgers together after the fight. That is funny. I like that. That is funny. Sul A, Billy Joe Saunders' team is pathetic. I've watched all their interviews. They are claiming Reynoso can have final say over the state's athletic commission. They are talking nonsense. They need to prove it, like Wilder.
No, but this again, I keep saying to you that what you have to understand is this.
Go ahead, bro. Hold on.
This is a decision that was made before the commission even came into question. For example, if you're talking about the ring size, to me, it's something that would have been discussed from before. That's what I'm saying. If you're talking about like the judges and stuff like that, I don't know. Personally, I don't know who would have picked the judges, how the judges would have got picked. Personally, it would have been fair if the judges were neutral, just based on Canelo's track record. But even when you look at it, I don't even feel like Billy Joe Saunders' team is even being pathetic. I just feel like they're just trying to make sure they don't get robbed. because we've seen many fighters fight Canelo who are bigger names than Saunders, and they've come off with a bad result.
We done been on this live so long, my darn laptop was getting ready to die. I had to run and get the charger. Y'all got it lit up in here today. English guy, the fight will go ahead. Canelo should call Saunders bluff when he says he's going to walk.
I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't.
Yeah, that English guy, that wouldn't be smart. It wouldn't be smart for Canelo to do. It just wouldn't be. I think the fight's going to happen.
As the fight gets closer to the day, you even if like you were to call him bluff, for example, Eddie Hearn's still a promoter. So every day he's spending more money. This guy ain't gonna let that fight get even come close to even being on. There's no way that.
Hell no. Brendan Jackson, fundamentals of not bringing his defense up as he's punching, left that out. You know what, bro? Hold on a second.
What we got?
Brendan Jackson. I hear you talking. I'm gonna leave that for you in the comment section. Golovkin beat Canelo first fight. Second was even. I can respect that. Brendan said Triple G versus Canelo won. I had it 7-5. You had 7-5 for who? Second fight, I had it either a draw or could have won either way.
I'm not gonna lie, I Canelo winning the second fight.
Bruce Schools, up until a month ago, Billy Joe thought they were fighting in a bubble. Exactly. Yeah, facts. 100% facts. And Gabu, I just got some. Man, is this Triple X rated? And Gabu, is this? And Gabu, you gonna have to DM me on Instagram about that comment. You said I just got some. You want to dive into that, Shane? I know what I'm thinking when I read that.
Next,
we gonna go to the next one. But in Gabu, that's a different type of show. That's after midnight. Can't do that right now. You stay right there. Hold on a second.
What's good? This is an example. This is an example of what happens when you're in the comments. We just put you in straight one time.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, you're not gonna get that anywhere else. Let me get through these. Let me run through these comments real quick, Brendan, and I'm gonna let you cook.
All right, cool. I'm gonna jump off, get my other phone because this is about to die.
Okay. Hey, Brendan, introduce yourself to the people, bro.
What's good with everybody? I'm Brendan. I'm just another boxer, another boxing fan. I just love the sport. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, listen, man. What show you gonna jump on? You could talk a little trash and then you end up on the goddamn show. You ain't getting that nowhere else, bro.
Hey, I don't know.
They do it here. Hey, man, you ain't getting that nowhere else, man. But let me run through these comments real quick, and then we gonna talk. We gonna cook up. Soul A says, do you guys have any proof that Canelo controls ring size in Texas? Did Canelo handpick ring size against Callum Smith? Do you guys have proof that Canelo handpicks ring size, or is it speculation? Soul A, let me answer that, bro. When you the cash cow, you control every negotiation. You control every negotiation. It don't matter if you're in the UK, United States, Texas, California, Vegas, New York. Am I correct? You agree with that, Brendan? Hey, Shane, you read this comment real quick. Read that off, Shane.
Do you guys have any proof that Canelo controls ring size in Texas? Did Canelo handpick ring size against Callum Smith? Do you guys have any proof that Canelo handpicks ring size, or is it speculation? So let me give you an example. Let me give you an example of where this happens. As I said before, this is something that this is something that Klitschko used to do all the time. Klitschko always used to control ring sizes. Me personally, I don't feel like he needed to handpick the ring size against against Callum Smith. And again, as I said numerous times, I don't think Canelo picked the ring size. I think Saunders picked the ring size, and he had a representative agree with that. So maybe, and this is what Saunders' dad said. Saunders' dad said, I don't know what Smith done when they came here, but when we came here, we had demands. They had demands, and I assume Canelo wasn't there at that meeting because Canelo don't need to be there. And what has probably happened is Canelo's representative probably said, okay, that's fine. And then Canelo's gone and said, no, this ring's too big. And then they would have had it changed. That's what I assume. But I know for a fact that Billy Joe Saunders has come there trying to get a ring, get the size at a certain ring. And I believe that Canelo's team would have accepted it.
And Brendan, this is what I said earlier. I think you was in here when I said it. When it comes down to it, like where they're fighting at, that's a football stadium. So they have to customize a ring because they got to customize the whole stadium, right? So I'm like, that ring size was agreed upon prior to them even getting there. That's why I'm like, all of this, ring stuff is kind of crazy right now. But
bro, is this the first time you've heard of the channel? It's the first time you heard of the channel.
And just considering the fact that he is the A side, it's to leave a sense of course, but the A side. So I remember listening to Floyd. A lot of people like to trash him. Think about the Oscar De La Hoya fight. And you know how he's got that side, he got the shoes and everything. And I like listening to Floyd talk about when Floyd was the cash cow, Floyd was
what you speaking on, bro? Because your voice, I'm catching most of what you're saying, but your voice kind of going in and out. He cut out. He can come back in whenever he want. But yeah, so I hear what you're saying, bro. But Canelo controls everything, bro. He controls everything. Hold on a second. Let me get him back in.
I'm back.
Okay, I can hear you better now. Go ahead.
Yeah, just to keep it concise, pretty much. That's just how it is when you're the A side. When you're the A side,
okay,
you just gotta. Granted, yes, it is last minute. It wasn't originally in the contract.
Brandon, one second, Brandon. Bro, you just got some exclusive. Read the not this one, the one after. You got some exclusive.
Hold on.
From Engar.
Okay, tell Canelo. Okay, I just got some videos from who's that? America.
From America.
Okay, he is with Saunders over there. They are giving it to Canelo. I think it's just a mental game now.
Okay, fair enough. By the way, for those who don't know, him and Saunders actually sparred together in preparation to this fight. So
yeah,
he will know more than any of us on what's going on with Saunders right now. So
yeah,
I just
absolutely.
wanted to speak to that.
Brendan, before we continue, is this your first time hearing about the channel?
I've been on here before. I was already subscribed. That's why I got a notification that you was live. So
okay, listen. Tell all your people to jump on. If they want to, get on, they can get on the show too. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like for sure. And the thing is, bro, like we don't knock any other channels. Like we don't have anything against any other channel. But I'm like, we are the only channel that's gonna allow somebody that's in the comment section to actually jump on.
I can stamp that. Yeah, y'all got good intentions. Of course, we're not gonna agree on everything. Of course,
but that's what part of boxing though. Like that's how we supposed to do. If that's it, let me put you on this real quick before we continue. Shane and I agree on everything, so we have to have
if the other host was here, bro,
yeah. We agree on everything, so we have to have other people on the show because it'll just be too boring if it's just me and him. It'll just be me and him agreeing on everything. Like, so we need that back and forth. Conrad said, I don't think Canelo leaves anything like that to chance. Is Conrad, here's the thing with that, bro. I don't think he pays attention to the fine print. I think what happens is he got to the arena and was just like, hell no, this ring big as shit. Like, I ain't fighting in this big ass ring. I ain't gonna be chasing him around all night. You know what I'm saying? Conrad, he said, or rather his team. I think what his team agreed upon and what Canelo seen is different. I think that's what happened. You know what I'm saying? Sewell A. I remember when Avenetian team exposed Josh Kelly and Adam Booth. The difference is they proved it with paperwork. Why can't Billy Joe Saunders' team prove with paperwork that Canelo has final say on ring size. He's the A side. He doesn't have to prove anything. He's the A side. Like, we know he controls it. Like, that's the and to go into your Avenetian and Josh Kelly example. Josh Kelly was the A side.
But bro, and I give you even further. It's like, and if this was just an isolated incident, Sule, then I'll say, you know what, you're right. But it's not isolated. There's so many other things that's happened whilst they've been out here, which is making me think, you know what, I'm inclined to believe it. Like, if I slap you in your face 9 times, and then someone else says, you know what, I only see him slap him 8 times, I don't believe him slapped him 9 times, then obviously you're going to have to believe that it was 9 because you've seen it 8 times before. Well, you know, I don't need to witness every single thing. Like, like there's enough proof of previous things which I think is there. So
I've never heard an example like that before in my life, man. I gotta steal that. Yo, that was funny. That was funny. But so it's a lot of the points that you're making are legit. What we're saying is that Canelo's a different breed. Canelo's just a different breed of A side. That's what we're saying. But in most cases, you would be correct. Conrad Boxing, they plan his career so carefully. No way they're going to just ignore stuff like that. Again, that's the difference between his team and him.
But that's not. But you know what? Even I'll address that. It's not even ignoring it. Let me tell you why it's not ignoring it. Because Canelo has the power that if he ignores something, he will force you to do it anyway. Because he done it with Danny Jacobs. Mm-hmm. Danny Jacobs has a legal obligation to make weight for the IBF. That's all he needed to do. They then included another rehydration clause after that. Now, that's not in the rules, but he had the power to do that. He doesn't even have to. He doesn't even have to have stipulation. He doesn't even have to have laws or in paper. He has the ability to say, okay, this is in paper. The paper doesn't mean anything because I'm the one bringing the money here. And if I pull out, there's no money. So if it's either you take what I say right now or this fight's off. And he has that power. So they can ignore it because if they ignored something later down the line, bro, they changed the fight of the time of Canelo Kovalev at the same night of the fight. I don't think they changed it. So you would have trained for the fight to be at 10 p.m. and just to find out when you go there, the fight's at 12 p.m., bro. When Kovalev was there, Kovalev was sleeping on the couch. They changed the time of the fight on the night of the fight. It would have been in a contract that we fight at a certain time, but they changed it because Canelo has that power. That's the difference. Canelo has that power. We're talking about a different element.
Yeah, Canelo had that power, and on top of that, it was in the zone's best interest as well. So, I'm not complaining, but this live is so lit. This shit is like fire right now. Will Stokes, Saunders looks in insane shape. I think he's left no stone unturned. 14-week camp, too small for any rehydration clause to affect him. No excuses and ready to go. These threats prove his belief he wins. If I didn't have such questions about the judges, I would say Billy Joe has a legit shot based off of just past history. The Joker said Billy has just said everything is okay. Okay, fair enough. He said just Billy's usual BS. I don't think it was BS.
That means someone dropped somebody
dropped that. Yeah, somebody dropped that duffel bag. I just want to know if it was Nike or Adidas. That's all I want to know. Look to your DM. I got you. Gun Rights Mafia. What's going on, bro? What it do? That's my family. I don't know right there. Gun Rights Mafia. He's into boxing, but he does like the sports betting and all of that too. So yes, that's family right there. Billy want a bigger ring so he can have more room to run and stay on the outside. That's how he fights. Exactly. It fits to his strategy. Like that's 100% facts. Conrad Boxing, 100% Shane. They got the power. It is about millions of dollars. Of course, they use it. Facts. Exactly. So that's my point. Lando, what's going on, Lando? You are definitely new. Subscribe to the channel. Follow us on Instagram. So this is going to be very interesting to see. You see Brendan cut out on us before we can get into our conversation, but that's neither here nor there. But we gonna Shane, you got any final thoughts on this one?
I'm just gonna say, whoever's in the live, we've been out of YouTube for about a month, and the reception we got today is fantastic. So I have to say thank you for that. All the respect. I assume it's because of Canelo and stuff like that, but thank you regardless. Like, subscribe, and all of that. Blaze Philly always coming in last minute.
Blaze Philly,
I don't know what this guy's
Blaze Philly text. Hold on. Let me quote Blaze Philly 215 correctly. Hold on.
1 second. Canelo. Leno says Canelo is my boy on my end. He finna get this. I hope he doesn't. I hope he
That's
loses.
Cool. Yeah, I got a text from him. It was
Blaze Philly said he's always late.
I know that, but I can't say nothing because I'm always late. So it is what it is.
I mean, we got a lot of people in the live right now, so everybody please like the video, share the video, and as you see with Brandon, who jumped on before, this is the only channel where you can get your opinions off. Every comment will be read every single live. Not only that, you will get a chance if you want to jump on the live, jump literally on the live and say your piece.
And let me add this as well. You take Blaze Philly 215, big shout out to you, bro. It's bigger than boxing. You know what I'm saying? He has a channel. You know what I'm saying? He's been on plenty of times. So it's just, it's all about the dialogue. You know what I'm saying? We want to talk boxing with whoever wants to talk boxing with us. And that's just what it is. Conrad Boxing, he said, Lowdown is a gentleman's lounge. This one is always like Wild West. That's a fact.
Lowdown is family straight away. That's straight family.
That's fam right there. The thing is, Conrad, I'm gonna give you a little bit of insider, yo. I'm gonna give you a little bit of insight on that. I say this all the time. We have a live and Conrad, if you want me to send it to you, I'll send it to you. We had a live with, it was me, Shane, Lowdown, Lori, and YSM Sports Media. That was probably one of the best lives we done. If you want to hear Lowdown out of his gentleman's seat, go listen to that live, because actually Lowdown was actually turned up a little bit. He
is one of the greatest YouTube hosts because he knows how to play that line very good.
He knows how to play that line. On here, it's kind of like a house party over here, even though we control it, but it's a house party. Gun rights. See, this is what I'm talking about. Billy Joe plus 575, Canelo minus 850. Let me run through these comments real quick, Brendan. I literally know Canelo. I visited him in Mexico at his ranch. He is a very nice dude and very positive on everything. Lando, I need to see pictures, bro. I need to see pictures. Gun rights under 10.5 rounds. I need to see a picture. Nah, I don't believe Lando. I don't believe Lando. Lando, you got to send some pictures, bro. I want to see you on the ranch next to the vegetables and all that.
With the boxing pose and everything.
I need to see all that, bro. Lando, I know Brendan got on the show, but I'm not gonna let everybody cat me. You're gonna have to send me some pictures. Gun rights said under 10.5 rounds plus 160, over 10.5 rounds minus 180. That's going the distance, bro. That fight not getting. That's going the distance.
Let's talk. You know what? I feel like with all the bad news or just the flake of the fight not happening, being around. Let's talk about the fight. Let's talk about stylistically because that's where I feel like y'all are really banking on Saunders' movement and everything. But
we gonna get to that in a second. We can talk about that real quick.
I'm not gonna lie, it is 1 hour and 39 minutes.
Hold on. I got it. Lando just hit me. Hold on. Imagine not believing. See, I told you. I told you. Hold on. Oh man, he said I was riding his horses. Hold on, whoa, hold on.
That man be having $1
Hold on,
million.
Hold on, Lando, are you male or female? I have to ask that.
Jay
Yo,
Banks.
what y'all think? Y'all think Jay Banks in the building? Jay Banks, what's going on?
That has to be a female. Lando has to be
It
a
gotta
female.
be. Lando gotta be a female.
That has to be a female.
What is Lando short for though? That's the thing.
Oh, it
I'm
says
a
I'm a male. The male. Okay, hold on. So have you met Canelo? Yes or no? I need to know that. Can you give us a yes or no on that?
18 years
okay,
old.
he's 18. Okay, all right. You get a pass. You 18. All right.
But yeah, right. In terms of styles, yeah. To be honest, I've said this many times. Canelo just got slow feet. I'm pretty sure. Now, I'm not a fantastic boxer, but I'm pretty sure Canelo couldn't catch me. I guarantee Canelo couldn't catch me. He would knock me out, but he couldn't catch me. Canelo's just got so much slow feet, and he's not a very good bull. I've seen him fight so many times. He couldn't even fight an Asian. He couldn't even catch an Asian Kovalev.
You say he doesn't have very good what besides feet? But
I said he just has slow feet.
But you
I said he's not a very good bull. When you got bull and matador, he's not a very good bull.
Oh, okay. You said he is a very good bull.
No, he isn't. He isn't a very good bull. In my opinion, if he fights someone with good movement, deploying movement, I think he's gonna struggle. And I just feel like the reason why Saunders won't win this fight is one, he doesn't have enough power to stop Canelo coming forward. Saunders doesn't have enough power, so Canelo's just gonna walk through his punches. And two, I think Saunders' engine's gonna go. That's what I think.
Brandon, what you think?
Well, for one, he is a lot more skilled than a lot of people like to give him credit for. Like, let me tell you, for example, Kovalev of all people, he was outboxing Canelo for. I had him up rounds. I had
it draw. I had it even.
Listen, yeah. I had him up at least one or two leading up to the knockout.
Okay.
Canelo, although he was getting outboxed throughout that entire time, stuck with his game plan. You can clearly see him there. Canelo is actually, fuck. I'm like kind of stoned right now, so just give me that like a little brain fart. But let me start.
Go ahead, bro. Do your thing. Go ahead, bro.
All I'm trying to say, all I was really trying to get to is that Canelo is going to catch him. He is good. It doesn't matter how good he's moving. It doesn't matter how much he's boxing. Kovalev is how much taller, how much longer of a reach. He was still moving and everything.
The difference with that is Kovalev don't have fast feet. The difference with that is Kovalev isn't a southpaw. That's the difference.
Shane, let me get in here real quick.
Yeah.
Hey, Brendan, I'm gonna let you know in advance, bro.
Yeah.
That clip is coming out on Instagram, bro. That part where you was like, you might be a little stoned.
I had a brain.
That's definitely going in the
instead of
Instagram.
And instead of like getting straight to the point, I try to like patent down other points so that you understand the big point more. But you took
a detour route. No doubt about it.
Ain't nothing to it.
Ain't nothing wrong with it. Let me get in here real quick.
Oh yeah, of course.
He said Canelo going to drop that boy at least one time. Watch.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't see it, but
defense, his counter.
You think he gonna drop Billy Joe? You think he gonna drop it?
He can even drop Smith. He can even drop Smith.
Oh,
and Smith ain't got no defense.
He gave Smith a freaking soccer ball on his arm from just punching. Smith.
But Smith ain't got no defense. We saw that in the Ryder fight. Smith ain't got no defense.
I think Callum Smith had COVID in his arm, yo. He had COVID-19. He had COVID-19 in his arm. That joint swelled up crazy.
I had never seen Canelo hit so hard before. Like.
But to me, John Ryder showed you the blueprint of how to beat Callum Smith. Just get
I
on
think
the
if Callum had a fight, I think his power was just overwhelming Canelo. I think if he actually had a fight, which Billy Joe Saunders, I think he is gonna do. Like being from the gypsy culture and everything. I think he's gonna
fight. He ain't, trust me when I tell you, he ain't
That's
fight.
why he's getting knocked out, though. That's why I feel like he's getting knocked out. Because the
But
moment he start trading.
Hey, Brendan, the good thing about being on this show, bro, whatever you say, if you're gonna be on the show, we gonna have an opportunity to revisit. So yeah, so we gonna I don't know what you smoking. I'm pretty sure it's that good stuff because it looked like your bong was pink. Is that a pink bong?
Nah, it's white, but it got like viruses on it, like little viruses.
Okay, that's some exotic. I
call it the Corona bomb. The Corona bomb.
Yeah, that's definitely a COVID-19 bong, like for sure. Lando said, yeah, my grandpa works with him in Mexico, helps him keep everything clean at his ranch. Hey, Lando, come on, man. Hey, Lando, come on.
Need a picture or something.
I ain't going there with Lando right now. Go ahead, bro.
Billy Joe Saunders isn't that swift at 168 either. That's true.
No, that's a fact. That's a fact.
That's a fact.
Go to the next one, Shane.
I'll probably go visit him on December, try and get some pics with him. Please.
Hey, listen, please do. And tag us in that. Go ahead.
Somebody really giving Billy Joe a chance in this fight. I'm not giving him a chance at all.
He's not going to win it on the cards, and he don't have the power to do anything with Canelo, so I don't give him a chance to win the fight. I'm just saying technically he's going to make it interesting.
All I'm saying is I've always, from the very beginning, said that since I started watching Billy Joe Saunders a couple months ago, like for this fight, is that if Billy Joe Saunders comes in with ridiculous stamina, absolutely 100% on point footwork, it's gonna be a nightmare for Canelo. But
yeah, he's gonna cause problems. Yeah, right. No, I'm Brendan. I agree with you.
The first 3 rounds is gonna be a hard 3 rounds for Canelo to find him. After that, then body shots are gonna start wearing Saunders down, and he needs to get Canelo's respect. He has to get Canelo's respect.
Go to the next comment, Shane. Go to the next comment.
What, Gun Mafia's one or?
Oh no, the next one after that. Yeah.
Oh, Canelo has slow feet. I know.
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead, Shane. Keep going.
Canelo,
especially if you got fast feet. Yeah.
Canelo about to walk that boy down. I agree. He ain't got no power.
Yeah, he don't have no power. He's gonna walk him down, but it's really up to Billy Joe to make him run into shit. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
I can see a late stoppage for Canelo. Shane is right that Saunders doesn't have the power or engine to. It's true. You don't have that power to. You need some form of deterrent, or you're just gonna keep walking through that front door. Mm-hmm. Look to kill the whole convo. Billy can't f with Danny Jacobs. Exactly. To be fair, Danny Jacobs fought he fought crap in that fight. I won't even lie. He fought so trash in that fight.
Which fight? It looked like I missed something.
The Canelo fight.
Talking about Danny, the one that got Carlos scared.
Danny looked trash in that Canelo fight. In my opinion,
trash in his last fight.
He was trash in that fight.
He was in good shape. Fight Canelo defense in that fight. I wasn't expecting all that.
This is my problem with Danny Jacobs. He didn't have a good enough game plan. He should have made Canelo walk onto punches instead of trying to walk Canelo down. He should have tried to make Canelo walk onto punches. He didn't do that.
That's just how the cookie crumbled. But you saw the condition that they were in, and then you saw how it ended up playing out. One thing that we got,
he tried to go with the side because he didn't make the weight advantage. He tried to make that weight as much of an advantage as possible, which was unnecessary. He should have just tried to box him, let Canelo walk him down and walk onto punches. He should have tried to do that, but instead he tried to physically impose himself, and that's why he came in heavier than he normally does.
Shane, I'm gonna let you take this next one, bro. I'm not even touching it. Go ahead.
I definitely don't think Canelo gets a stoppage here. I'm thinking it will be 7-5 either way. I mean, I'm not even gonna try to predict the scorecard. I'm not even gonna try to predict.
I know. I can predict it. I know Billy Joe ain't getting no 5 rounds. I know that much. I can bank that. I got it.
If Billy Joe Saunders gets 5 rounds, it's a robbery. Basically, that means Billy Joe Saunders won
the fight.
On the judges' scorecard. On the judges' scorecard.
Absolutely.
I can't do nothing about the judges. Can't do nothing.
Yeah. Chris G in the building. Big shout out to Chris G. That's my boxing son right there. Smith also huge. He said, I think Canelo wins a convincing decision if I was gonna put money on it. Yeah, I mean that's smart money, smart bread. Gun rights, he said, not to knock him out, but knock him down. It could happen if he gets tired.
Personally, you know what, bro? I'm not gonna lie, I actually think there's a chance that Saunders could get dropped or even knocked out. Let me tell you why, yeah. Saunders is one fighter. If he's losing on the card, he's gonna go for it. If he feels like he's losing on the cards, he's gonna go for it. I swear. Remember that fight you put money on, Jeff, where he was losing on the cards and he literally just started to go for broke.
Yo, Brendan, I was so pissed, yo. I was so pissed, bro. I put money on this fight. Yo, Billy Joe was fighting. Was it Akavov?
Yeah,
Akavov. How many fights ago was it? How many fights ago? It
had been like maybe 3. It might have been like 3 fights ago, maybe 3-4 fights ago.
Yeah.
But
probably,
he literally, yo, I bet the fight was gonna go the distance, right? And I had it in a parlay. That shit would have got me like 1,200. He knocks this dude out in the 11th round, man. I was so pissed off, bro.
I need to start.
Yo, bro, that's what we do. That's what we do. You got Instagram. You got Instagram
on the sites like Bovada and.
Bro, we got you. Listen, you want Instagram?
Is in the building right now.
That's why I put me on Bovada, but something happened with my account.
You got Instagram?
Yeah. I'm gonna follow you.
Follow. Yeah, we talk, bro. We talk on YouTube, outside of YouTube, all that shit.
On me.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, for sure. So, and I gotta find out when you got that bong too. So we gonna have to talk.
Man, we're in New Orleans, man. We're in New Orleans.
Oh, you in the oh man,
yes, sir.
Yeah, you gotta. Yeah, we gotta talk.
Oh, you must be a Prograde fan.
Who like Regis Prograde? Regis Prograde.
Yeah, he and that fight with Taylor was legendary. I did kind of think it could have went either way, but Taylor's nice.
Nah, I thought Prograde won the fight. I thought Prograde won the fight.
I thought Prograde's won the fight too. I thought Prograde's won the fight. But it was a great fight though. Hold on, we gotta run through these. We gotta run through these comments, bro. This shit crazy.
This is the last set of comments.
This is the last batch of comments. He said Smith was pretty static target, just shelling up on the ropes. Billy Joe Saunders couldn't be any more different in terms of elusiveness and slickness. Right. Yeah, that's a fact. Gun rights laughing. I'm a lady, but also a southpaw. Yeah. Hold on, Jay. You a southpaw? I didn't know that.
Both.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Yeah. Gun rights said Smith way bigger than Billy. Bro, come on, can't compare that fight. But I can say this though. With Callum Smith ain't had no dog in him when he got in that fight with Canelo. You know Billy Joe has a dog in him.
There was already a blueprint to beat Smith because he lost his fight before that. There was already a blueprint to beat.
Yeah, let me run through these real quick, bro. Jeffrey said, I might be wrong, but I think Billy Joe Saunders has a better chance than a lot of people giving him credit for. I think the scorecards have a chance of coming into question in this fight. Hold on, I got this one. Jeffrey, the fight is in Texas. The scorecards is always going to be an issue. And that's on top of Canelo. Like I said, like Billy Joe Saunders is down 3 rounds to nothing right now. And they haven't even weighed in yet. He's down 3-0. Right now, he got to get 2 knockdowns to get a draw in this fight. That's a fact.
Cash cow, unfortunately,
absolutely,
gotta knock him out.
He going to knock him. He going to hurt him bad. It ain't happening. Respect is what he ain't getting. Yeah, I mean, it's just because the cards are stacked against him. Like you got to think about it. Triple G couldn't put him down. Triple G couldn't put him down. Yeah. Gun Rights said body punches from 1 to 5. Watch, then it will start to slow down in the 6th and 7th, and it's up to Billy the last 5 more rounds after that. You could have a point. Yeah, I mean, could have a point. He said everybody got a plan until it don't work. I gotta steal that one. Hey, Shane, write that one down. I gotta steal that one. Everybody got a plan until it don't work. Yo, I think gun rights is in Vegas too. That must be some Vegas shit. He said you guys are overlooking this. That's true. It could be some Vegas shit. You guys are overlooking this. Ever since Canelo been on the zone, the scores have been tight. Jacobs 115, 113 on 2 cards. If Kovalev had won the last 2, he would have won a majority decision. They even gave Smith 3 rounds. Bro, hold on. I got this one. Will Stokes. It's the fact that it's in Texas. That's the thing.
Bro. It's not even that. It's not even that, bro. You know the truth is, bro, I'll tell you the truth. In every single one of those fights, they didn't need to rob Canelo because Canelo was already winning the fight, bro. Bro, these guys be writing that, making these.
That's fine. Remember the Kovalev? He just brought it up too. The Kovalev fight. He had him.
No, but let me tell you why he didn't need. The reason why I'm saying that these guys be writing their scorecards in pencil, bro. They'll be rubbing that out after the fight. They be doing the math. No, rub that one out. And bro, these guys be doing their scorecard in pencil.
I had it, and like I said, like Brendan said, Brendan had Kovalev up. We both had it 5-5. I think the judges had it close, didn't they? Didn't the judges have it close?
One of they had it 5-5 as well. But let me tell you the truth.
I think they did.
They had it close. They had it. They would have had it. They would have added it up, and they would have said 7-5 at the final bell. By the time they would have given that in, it would have said 8-2 Canelo. That's what it would have said. It would have said 8. They would have rubbed that out in pencil and put it up and up.
I think everybody, because what he just said, since those are more recent fights, and everybody still holds on to the ridiculous Triple G scorecard, especially the Floyd Mayweather draw. But yeah, I don't. After he just brought that up with the last few fights, how they've been scored. I mean, you gotta give him some sort of benefit of the doubt. You know, at least at this point, it's been too many fights. You know, and unless they are gonna go back to their Triple G day ways and stuff like that, where they were,
bro,
118.
Yeah, 118, 110s, and all that. Hey, Shane, we may not ever get off this live. The comments just keep coming, but we gonna get through them real quick. Gun Rights.
As soon as we get to the bottom, bro, just
as soon as he gets to the bottom, I'm shutting it off. Gun Rights, he said, bro, last fight was close. Was Triple G. Who else was close after that? Knock it off, Will. No, the Kovalev fight was close, bro. The Kovalev fight was close.
But it wasn't controversial, though. It wasn't controversial.
It wasn't controversial, but it was a tight fight.
It wasn't controversial because he got knocked out. That's why it wasn't.
Yeah, that's why it wasn't controversial, right?
You know what?
Right, as far as rounds, Kovalev was winning rounds, bro. He was winning rounds. Chris G, Will, that makes a lot of sense. Chris G and Will be agreeing with each other a lot.
I'm not gonna lie though. I will say this to you, Will. That is actually a really good point because it's something that I didn't even consider. But trust me, it won't play. If Canelo is losing on the cards, I'll bet $1,000 right now that he won't lose the fight. I bet $1,000 right now.
Yo,
he ain't losing this fight.
Listen, Canelo can get knocked down. He can get knocked down twice, right? And get in trouble in another round, and he's still gonna get a draw. He still will get a draw.
That man down. That's the thing.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
Did we not just see what just happened last week? And I know it's a completely different country, but it's the same promotional company. If Matchroom want you to lose, you're gonna lose. You're gonna lose. There's no. If Matchroom want you to lose,
it was on some bullshit last week. I will say it was on some bullshit last week.
Yeah, they was definitely on some bullshit last week. Hold on, Will Stokes. Oh, I see my name in this comment. I'm telling you, I don't think the cards are an issue. Jeff, you said it. If Billy Joe Saunders gets 5 rounds, it means he won. Jacobs got 5 rounds on 2 cards, but he clearly didn't win. Is that true?
And it was
as far as Jacobs.
In one of the cards, I know one of the cards was really close. And to be fair, I'm gonna keep it real. I feel like they didn't rob Canelo, or I think they gave Jacobs rounds because the fight was so easy. Because a lot of those rounds that the judges gave him was at the back end of the fight. So it was after Canelo already won. They were like, you know what? So it doesn't look so biased. Let's even it out. That's what I think happened anyway.
Yo, Jeffrey said, I'm in Texas. He said, why am I talking about scorecards? Hold on, Jeffrey. We need to keep in contact with you because I think we're going to come out to Texas. Because if the Stephen Fulton fight is in September, we coming out to Texas.
Well, the Stephen Fulton fight is in September. It's definitely in September. I'm going to the fight. I'm going to the fight. Stephen Fulton versus Luis Nery.
No. I'm in for the Saunders Canelo fight. Y'all going live? I mean, y'all going live on here?
We gonna go live. We gonna go live, and we gonna go on after the fight.
Bet that.
Going after the fight, yeah. So it's gonna be a party up in here for sure. Will says, like I said, they even scored at 117, 111 on one card to Smith, from what I remember, and I'm a Brit who wanted Smith to do it, but I scored at 119, 109. That's funny. That is funny.
Ass, man.
Gun rights.
Quick.
All right. The only person, I got it. The only person who got a chance versus Canelo is David Benavidez. Everybody else at 168 put on the resume right now. English, do we know who the referee is going to be? No, we don't. It don't even matter. Gun rights, exactly. Agreed. Gun rights, Mafia. Only person with the chance is Benavidez or Bivol if he goes down at 168. I don't even think Bivol beats Canelo at 168. I think he would have to beat him at 175.
I think he beats him at 160. I just think he'll get.
I don't know how he's going to perform at 168.
Probably better beat him.
Yeah, I don't know how he's going to perform at 168. I know he's a small 175, but hold on. English and Bivol got to show me more because the last fight versus Richards ain't gonna cut it.
Bro, that again, I wouldn't look too much
out for a minute. That was an okay showing to be like inactive.
To be fair, this guy ain't fought in almost 2 years. And also
that's why I don't give Andrade.
I don't be too hard. I don't be too hard on guys because they coming off a year and a half, 2 year layoff.
And he fought someone, bro. He fought someone. I've seen Craig Richards. Craig Richards is massive, bro. He is like 6'3". He's like 6'3". To be fair, he won a jabbing battle against someone with a 70-inch reach. He's got heavyweight arms and heavyweight height.
For sure. Triple G won the first fight, but Canelo won the second. That's how I had it. That's how Shane had it. I thought Triple G won the second fight too. Chris G. Yeah, it was close. If Benavidez can make weight sooner and BGS pulls out the fight, I think Benavidez will make a great late replacement in that small. Hold on. Let me say this real quick. Chris G might be David Benavidez's biggest fan. Like he might be Benavidez's biggest fan. Like not even joking around. Gunright said if that's the case, Leo was whipping Tank's ass to me on the cars, but he still went to sleep. Yeah, the cars don't matter. Yeah, the cars don't matter when you put somebody to sleep. It's a fact. He said, yep, Jacobs was 7-5 on 2 cars. That means one more round and Jacobs would have got a majority draw. Canelo has never had a bad score ever since he's been on the zone. Again, the zone's not the problem. Texas is the problem for me. But Will Stokes, didn't Hearn say if judges were corrupt, they would make the fights look close? I don't know about that. Bivol wasn't great against Richards, but he'd been out a long time, not fought since October 2019. That's what we were saying. Like these fighters, they're coming off a year and a half, 2 year layoffs. Trying to expect them to be on the A game is impossible. It's impossible. Floyd's the only one that can get away with that. You know what I'm saying? Be off for 2 years, 2.5 years. He come back and don't miss a beat.
The comments, bro. We're at the end.
Yeah, keep coming, bro. Hold on. Was it the Jacobs fight in Texas? Was it Jacobs fight in Texas?
I thought it was in Vegas.
I was just gonna ask, what was the last?
I thought that was in Vegas.
Was that fight in Vegas? I gotta find that out because I'm like, if that fight was in Vegas, Will might actually have a point. And I don't want to say Will has.
The difference with that is Loma was coming off a year layoff versus Teofimo Lopez, but Bivol was coming off 2 years.
Nah, it was in Vegas. It was in Vegas.
I thought it was in Vegas. I knew it was in Vegas, bro.
Yeah, Will, you almost got us, but I do research. So Loma coming off of a 1.5 year layoff versus Tio. So what that mean? You know, I had to throw that one in there. Bro, this is the thing though. Like Loma, he was coming off of a 1.5 year layoff, but I'm like, that was his fault though. He get injured after every goddamn fight. He gotta have surgery after every fucking fight. You know what I'm saying?
100%. That had me so.
I ain't trying to.
I was already upset and you lost. I was like, come on, man.
The King of All Kings, what's going on? I know you're new. I ain't never seen the King of All Kings before. Go subscribe to the channel. He said Canelo will win on points.
All right, let's wrap this up.
I'm cutting it right here. I'm cutting it right here. I sent Bleeds Philly 215 a link 15 minutes ago, and of course this dude's late. He didn't even show up. But Brendan, give everybody your name, your social media, and all of that.
Hey y'all, man, it's just me, Brendan Jackson. I'm on Instagram, action.jackson. It'll probably be easier to just type in Brendan Jackson because I spell action a little weird. But yeah, man, glad for y'all to have me. I appreciate y'all being cool and objective and everything. So shit, man.
Hey, man.
Until next time.
Hey man, we appreciate you, good brother. And if you got any other boxing fans, man, tell them to jump on the channel with us, man.
For sure.
Chop it up, man, and we'll talk afterwards about that bong. I need to, this dude never fucking fails, yo.
I got you, man.
All right, Brendan, we up out of here, bro.
Mr. Will, take it easy, brother. Oh yeah.
All
right, man. Salute.
All right.
Salute.
Yo, bro, I swear
I'm that late, huh? I'm always late.
We gonna fight. We gonna fight.
I'm always late.
I'm gonna jump up.
Okay, go ahead.
Blaze, what's good?
What's good, my man? What's going on, y'all? My bad. I'm always late, man.
Go ahead, Shane. I'll close it out. Go ahead.